Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. And yes, I know. I've been terrible at it. In fact, it's been a long time since I made a video, but I made a New Year's resolution to myself that I'm gonna make some more videos. And then magically, the YouTube algorithm started suggesting all these vinyl tag videos that I had never seen before. And I'm like, well, this looks like a perfect time to go ahead and get back into it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this Vinyl Tag 2024 because I enjoyed watching them. You know, you get to learn about the people and their taste and their personalities and stuff, and it's just seems interesting because I started this channel to talk about music and to talk about records and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't really done anything with it, so now is the time. Let's get back into it. And if doing these little challenges gets me to make more videos, then that's what I'm going to do. But let's get started with, if you wanna help a brother out, hit the subscribe. Get me from 5 to maybe 10. I don't know. But I think you're supposed to say things like that on YouTube. But anyway, let's get to it. And these questions were from Rob Walker at Let the Music Play. He came up with the questions, and then all these people in the vinyl community, which I don't consider myself a part of, maybe one day. I consider myself more a music collector necessarily than a vinyl collector, but vinyl would be my preferred medium right now. So it's a long way to say. Let's just go ahead and answer some questions. Now, the first question is, what's the favorite record that you purchased in 2023? And that's an easy one for me because my brother Chris, who when I told him I was going to get into vinyl, he gifted me this big ass collection with a bunch of stuff to get me started. It was the Instant Collection. So thank you for that, Chris. So you'll hear about him a little bit because he's got his hand on a bunch of this stuff. But he messaged me. I was at work one day. He's like, hey, check this out. This is a great deal. So I checked it out, and it was a deal that's like way too good to be true. It's like, no, it's too good. It was about like $75 or something. And when I'd looked at it before, it was $350. So I'm like, no way. So I get home, I order it. Sure enough, a couple days later, it comes in the mail. And, oh, Jesus. It's the David Bowie Brilliant Adventures box set that covers from 1992 to 2001. And I'm going to set this right here on the desk because it's heavy. Bowie can just be peeking at you there. Now this set is awesome because this was the period that I really got into Bowie. I think Outside was my first album that I got as a new release, and it was the first time I saw him on tour. I saw him in Atlanta in 1995. It was an awesome show. But yeah, this collects from Black Tie White Noise through Hours. And then has a live show from BBC. It's got the unreleased album Toy, which has my favorite version of Candidate on it. Conversation Piece, not Candidate. Candidate, my favorite version of that was on the Ryko Disc CD. But yeah, Conversation Piece, that's my favorite version of it. It's got a multi LP set called Recall 5, which is a bunch of B-sides and outtakes and stuff, which is awesome, and a big ass book. So yeah, for like $75 shipped. That was pretty awesome. So yeah, definitely my favorite pickup of this last year. I'm gonna set him right back here because he's so heavy. He can watch the proceedings. And if you can't tell, I'm in my dirty old garage right now because it's the only place I could go to get away from everybody and all the noise and stuff. So my dirty old garage, everybody. All right, number 2. What is the last record that you bought in 2023? Now this is one that I've had on CD forever. In fact, it's one of my all-time favorite albums, and I always wanted it on vinyl, but for some reason I just never decided to pick it up. And even when I wasn't collecting vinyl, I still wanted this one strictly for the packaging, just because as a kid I always I had the CD and it's not the same, and it's... But for Christmas this year, or right around Christmas, I bought a few albums, and this was one of them. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just get it now. because I've wanted it forever. And it's Alice Cooper's... Too many lights. Alice Cooper's From the Inside. This is, an original pressing with the opening and the inner sleeve with Alice in the quiet room and all that stuff. Favorite album of all time. Well, one of my favorite albums of all time. It often gets overlooked in the Alice catalog. A lot of people don't like it, but I love this album, and you'll hear more about it in future videos. Alright, a band or singer who released 2 or more albums in the same year. This one was easy for me. The only question was which ones did I want to do, because, 60s, 70s artists, they release multiple albums in the same year a lot. And this one, I had to just go with my favorite band of all time. They were my favorite band when I was a kid. I still consider them my favorite band today, even if I don't listen to them nearly as much. I still consider them my favorite band. And they released not 2 albums in the same year. They released 5. That's right, I'm talking about Kiss. 1978, they released Greatest Hits album Double Platinum, which still has probably my favorite version of Hard Luck Woman on it, where the drums come in later. I've always liked that. And you're saying, a Greatest Hits album, how does that count? Well, Strutter 78 is on it. It's a different version of Strutter. But we have Peter Criss, his solo album, which is generally the one everybody likes the least. I don't mind it. We got Ace Frehley, which is the one everybody likes the most, except me. He's probably my second favorite. Gene Simmons, of course, which people didn't really care for, but I love a lot of the songs on here. So, Gene Simmons. And my favorite one that I just got, Paul Stanley. He was always my favorite member. This was always my favorite solo album. And for some reason, this was the one that I didn't have. So I went ahead and picked this one up in December of last year. So I just got this one, maybe a month ago. It doesn't have the poster in it, but it does have the original order form. All right, number 5. Show a record by a band or singer from Manchester. And hang on. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go back because I realized I just skipped a question. But a record by a band or singer from Manchester. In my vinyl collection, I don't have any records by bands from Manchester, but I do have some records by a band who has a member from Manchester, so I'm going to use that as a technicality. I'm talking about the Monkees. That's right, this is Headquarters. And Davy Jones is from Manchester. So we're just going to leave it at that. I believe Rob Walker is from Manchester, and that's why he picked that question. I don't know what's up with this focus on this thing. I'll figure it out one day. Just bear with it. Okay, now let's go back to number 4 that I skipped. If you could only listen to music from one decade, which decade would you choose? And I would have to pick the 1970s. I love, obviously, the 80s. I love the 60s. There's a lot of good stuff from the 90s. And then, the 2000s. And even to today, there's a lot of good stuff. But, if I had to choose only one, gun to head, gun to balls, it would be the 70s. That's where most of my favorite bands had their most, prolific output, I guess you would say. Their most classic output was then. So I would pick the 1970s. Okay, so now we're jumping back up to number 6. Which band or singer did you listen to the most in 2023? And this one was pretty easy for me to decide. It was... There goes that focus again. I need to work on that. Alice Cooper. He released his new album, Road, this year, which I streamed several times. I haven't picked it up yet. Not necessarily in a rush to. I mean, it's perfectly fine. I don't consider it one of his greatest albums, but I'll get it eventually. But I also saw him live early in the year. And my daughter, for some reason, really loves the songs Welcome to My Nightmare, Years Ago, Stephen, and The Awakening. So she always wants to hear those songs. I mean, hey, it could be worse, but it's just interesting that those are the ones she picked, especially because I don't listen to Welcome to My Nightmare very often. So I guess she just picked it up and maybe liked the creepiness of it. But hey. So, Alice Cooper. And this is the Dirty Diamonds, the New West, red, somewhat colored vinyl. It mainly looks black unless you hold it up to a light. But yeah. Okay, number 7. Show 7 7-inches. Now, I'm not a singles collector. I don't go out and buy singles, 45. So I don't really have any. I only have one 7-inch. Hang on. Just kidding. YouTube won't allow me to show that 7-inch. So, no 7-inch records. Sorry, haven't made a video in forever and already with a dick joke. Oh, sorry about that. Hit the subscribe button. Okay. Number 8. Who's coming to your party? Sorry, phone's ringing. See, I can't do anything. Who's coming to your party? Choose 4 music-related people to come to an imaginary dinner party, past or present. Who would you invite? Okay, this one I had to think about because a lot of the ones that I would want to invite, I have their CDs, but I don't have any vinyl for them. And this isn't the CD tag, so I had to switch it around. The first one I would pick, and by the way, my dinner party would be in this dirty old garage, so imagine these people hanging out in this mess. Would be interesting. The first person I would pick, which side? This side, would be David Lee Roth. I just think he would be fun to hang out with, probably get annoying, but he would definitely bring some excitement to it. And if the party starts getting boring, just have him start singing and everyone will crack up. Because he's terrible. I saw him, the only time I ever saw him was opening for Kiss on their End of the Road tour. And he was god awful, but I loved every second of it because of how awful it was. And he's just like, he didn't care. He just looked like he was having a blast, which made me have a blast. And isn't that what it's all about, really? So the next person would be Frank Zappa. And I keep putting it on the wrong side. So Frank Zappa, I think, would be fun to invite to your party. I would love to see him and David Lee Roth having a conversation. Be interesting. You could talk to Zappa about, music and politics and all that stuff and see how that goes. See what he thinks about America right now. I'd be interested to know. The next person who we could also talk to about America would be John Wayne. Which side? This side. Okay, there we go. I'll move there. John Wayne. He will tell us why he loves America. And this counts because this is a record of John Wayne. It counts. But could you imagine him? What would he think of David Lee Roth? And what kind of conversations would he have with Zappa about America? That would be fun. Focus. I got a little light back here. Let me turn this off and see if that helps stop that focus nonsense. Because, yeah, it's bugging me. So, sorry about that. So, the fourth person that's coming to this dirty old garage for my dinner party would be Prince. And this is the Welcome to America Deluxe box set. This is one of the first deluxe sets I got. Chris actually messaged me again and said, hey, the set's on sale for a great price. You should pick it up if you want it. I wanted it, so I picked it up. It's not necessarily my favorite Prince album, but it's awesome. Awesome packaging with all kinds of goodies and a DVD and all kinds of good stuff in it. But yeah, Prince hanging out with John Wayne and Frank Zappa and David Lee Roth. And even if he started to get a little reclusive and didn't want to, talk, we could always go outside and play basketball. And that's what it's about, right? That's pretty much what it's about. Okay. Number 9. We lost them. Choose one musician who passed away in 2023. Now, there was a lot of people that passed away but I don't have very many of them in my collection without going in and actually like scouring liner notes. But there was one, and I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of them or him, but I can respect the hell out of the stuff that he's done, and and that kind of stuff. So I went with David Crosby. I'm gonna learn one day. This is Crosby, Stills, Nash, Young with Four Way Street. It's their live album. So David Crosby, he passed away in 2023. Is it When I Bend Down? Like do this number? What? We're going to figure this out. We're going to get to the bottom of it. So, welcome to a video that's not edited. I'm just stream of thought, stream of conscious, working this out. Imagine you could only listen to music from one country. Which country would you choose? This was tough. I would love, obviously I love a lot of that British stuff. Bowie, Beatles, Zeppelin. Come on. That would have to be gone for me because I would pick America. Because, you got Kiss, you got Alice, you got Prince, you got Drive-By Truckers, just a lot of stuff. You got stuff like the Jelly Bean Bandits. That's right. Found this in a thrift store for $1 and turned out to be a damn good album and actually worth something, which is crazy. But, yeah, America. For the Jelly Bean Bandits. It's a great cover. It's a great cover. And actually a really good album, too. Okay. Name 3 vinyl community channels you discovered in 2023. I don't know when I discovered these, but I know I've been watching a lot of them. And there's I've been watching a lot of these people and enjoying their content, enjoying their personalities. But you've obviously got, Dylan from Noble Records. He's got a good channel, especially if you're newer, I guess, because he puts out a bunch of collecting tips videos, and I don't know. He's just a good channel, and he's really into it, and you can appreciate that, or at least I can. Frank at channel 33 RPM. I really love him. He's all laid back, and he's just awesome. I really enjoy him. The Record Spinner was probably one of the first ones that I watched just because he was a big Kiss fan, so he had a bunch of Kiss vinyl, and I started seeing that. And I still watch him. I like him. Good stuff. You got one, okay, this is not vinyl community, but I want to throw him in. This is Brendan Snyder. He's a CD guy, but I love his passion for it, and he's not entirely stuck in the past. He talks about the new stuff that's coming out from these bands. He's definitely like a 80s, 90s type guy, but he enjoys it. He's passionate about it, and I enjoy it. But my favorite one is Robert Fithen. He's just funny. I love that dude. I don't know when, I've watched a ton of his videos recently, and he's just fun. He's knowledgeable. But he's not like beat you over the head knowledgeable. He's just good times, and I like him a lot. Good job. Now, okay, where are we? Number 12, show a record you bought when you were a teenager. I didn't really buy many records as a teenager. I was, cassettes and then into CDs. But the first record I remember paying money for, I gave my brother Chris some money. He was going to the record store in the capital city that's like 30 miles away or whatever. And I'm a little kid at this point, and I'm like, I want, funny enough, I just thought about it. I wanted him to buy me Welcome to My Nightmare. So maybe it just runs in the family. But that was the album I wanted, and he didn't come back with Welcome to My Nightmare. He came back, which if you can even tell what it is, Alice Cooper's Zipper Catches Skin, which in hindsight is awesome because I do love this album, but it wasn't Welcome to My Nightmare, so I was disappointed at the time, even though this one was much harder to come by than Welcome to My Nightmare, and I can appreciate it a whole hell of a lot more now. Focus. So yeah, Alice Cooper's Zipper Catches Skin was, I don't even know if I was a teenager yet, but this was the first record I remember spending money on. Show a funk or soul record. This came from the Instant Collection that Chris gave me as well. And he gave it to me in a couple different, he gave me the first one probably, well, I guess it was 2022. And then, I just got more additions to it in 2023. And I'm not going to turn anything down. So soul and funk. Stevie Wonder Intervisions. Absolute classic, obviously. So, wanted to throw that out there because this is, a soul or funk classic, if you will. Alright, this one is fun. This one's fun. Show a record you think everyone has, then show a record that you think nobody has. I've got a good one for this one, okay? Show a record that everybody has. I don't think you have a record collection if you don't have this one. Herb Albert's Tijuana Brass, Whipped Cream, and Other Delights. Every thrift store has one of these. Every record collection has one of these. You can't say you have a record collection if you don't have this. Way before I even gave a damn about vinyl, I knew this cover, if nothing else. And so I'm glad to have this in my collection. I can consider myself a vinyl collector now. Now, a record that I think nobody has, and this one came out in October of 2023, and it's limited to a couple hundred copies exist. And luckily, I have one. And it's an album by Chris McKay and the Critical Darlings called Satisfactionista. That's right. Remember, I told you Chris would be making a comeback. But this was an album that was originally released in, 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. And he always wanted it on vinyl, but could never get it done. So he decided, screw it, he's going to do it himself. And he did it. And I am incredibly proud that he managed to pull this off. Because, the artwork is beautiful. The packaging stands up to anything you could purchase in a store these days. I mean, it's top quality stuff. You've got the full inner. You've got custom labels on there. You've got a book with it, all kinds of goodies that came with this thing. And I'm not just saying it because he's my brother and he gave me a bunch of vinyl as well. This is a damn good album regardless, and I would say check it out. You can stream it on Bandcamp, and then there may be some more of these copies left. I'm not sure, but if you like it, consider picking it up, because I'm telling you, this is quality, vinyl. I don't know how else to say it. The music is awesome. If you like classic rock, power pop type, even some epics. It's got the drummer for Drive By Truckers is on a couple of songs, Brad Morgan, and Mike Garson, the David Bowie piano player, from started in the Ziggy days all the way up until the end. He plays on the last track of the album, Something Unseen. Incredible. But if that one's not rare enough for you, how about this one? Chris McKay and the Critical Darlings, Satisfactionista. That's right. I've got 2 copies of this. But this one's even more rare and more exclusive. Because this... Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's the Wax Mage. It's the Wax Mage vinyl. And this one is absolutely beautiful. And I think, a handful of copies, 25 copies or something. I may be wrong, but I know there's not a lot of them. So yeah, even extra rare for you, the Wax Mage version of the album. So remember, chrismckay.bandcamp.com, I think it is. It'll be in the description if you want to check it out, which definitely do, because like I said, it's awesome. And if that wasn't rare enough, I've got an even rarer one for you. Chris McKay and the Critical Darlings Satisfactionista test pressing. So yes. Yeah, like I said, I don't think many people have this. But I do. There's 5 or 10 copies of this in the world. So yeah, I think that's a pretty rare album for you. Okay, She's Great, a record by a female artist you bought in 2023. I didn't buy this. This came in the updated to the Instant Collection. I mean, not that I have anything against it. I would totally buy this. It's Donna Summer. Love to Love You, baby. Love to Love You. I don't mind me some disco at all. And I think Love to Love You, baby is one of those, one of those just classic horny songs, basically. I mean, there's no other way about it. And it's the entire side one. So, yeah. Donna Summer, Love to Love You, baby. Damn right we do, Donna. We love to love you. The favorite video you posted on your channel in 2023 and the favorite video you watched in 2023. The favorite video I posted is easy because I only posted one. It was the collection video from back then. So by default, that's my favorite. And by default, that's my least favorite. But hey, it's a video and the only one. And I promise I'm going to have more than one video on this channel this year. So hit that subscribe button to see the next one. Favorite video you watched on the VC? I don't know, man. I don't know. Those channels that I listed earlier, I've watched so many videos, and I don't know how many of them are older videos or how many are from last year. I would just say, I'll go back and say it. Robert Fithen is my favorite one. So much fun to watch. Just watch any of his. I watched one today, actually, and I don't know if it was from last year or it could have been a while back, but it was about the gayest songs. And it's just a beautiful video. I loved it. Number 17. Show a record you'd describe as a 90s classic. This one, recent addition to my collection, and one of my all-time favorite albums. Quite possibly my all-time favorite album. I don't think there's a bad track on here. I can listen to it from beginning to end every time. I've had it on CD for years. Vinyl was almost impossible to find. And then they just re-released it. And once again, Chris was like, hey, jump on this if you want it, because it's going, you won't be able to get it for long. So once again, I got home from work and immediately got it. And it's Jellyfish's Spilt Milk. Early 90s classic, came out in 1993. Every song on this album is incredible. And it sucks that they only lasted for 2 albums, and then they were done. But this one is a 90s classic. This one could have gone into favorite record I purchased this year. It could have gone into record not many people own, I guess, because it's so hard to get. It could have gone into a lot of these categories. So to open it up for other things, that's why I put it in the 90s classic, because this is a 90s classic. This is 100% a 90s classic, and it's, I love this album. If you don't know Jellyfish, A, there's something wrong with you. B, go listen to it. Go stream it. Go do whatever you got to do. Just listen to Jellyfish's Spilt Milk and listen to it all the way through, because it's just one of those that you have to. Okay? If you could walk into the cover, look through your collection, and choose a record cover you'd like to be a part of, I've got it. I think I'm going to win this one as far as, the other videos that I've watched. I think I've got it. And it's Night Rangers, Midnight Madness. Look at this cover. Don't even look at the band, right? Look at all of the nonsense going on in the background. You've got like an Arabian dude with a sword. You've got, I'm assuming, like a prostitute. It looks like you've got a magician or a Dracula or something back here. You've got like a mountain climber that's climbing up the side of the building. And I don't know there's a cheerleader down here. You've got, look at this. You've got this dude that's like making out with the prostitute. There's the cheerleader. You got a football player who has been murdered, apparently. You've got a spaceman handing over some kryptonite. You got a knight back there. You have a fucking knight in shining armor back there. So yeah, this is I want to hang out in this alley and just see what the hell is going on. Because You don't get much more impressive than that. Fucking kryptonite, man. Superman couldn't even come down here. So yeah, Night Ranger, Midnight Madness. This is beautiful. Okay, 2 more questions. It's like a greatest hits. Show or record you're so familiar with that it feels like a greatest hits. This one is from my childhood. It came out in 1988. And in fact, it was the second concert I ever went to. The first concert I went to was Kiss with Ted Nugent opening in February of 1988. And then later in that year, I saw Robert Plant on his Now and Zen tour with Cheap Trick opening. And this album I listened to so much back in the day. I mean, I had this on CD with the bonus track on it. And then this was in the Instant Collection as well, which is awesome because I love this album. You know, you've got the singles, Heaven Knows and Tall Cool One, Ship of Fools. But then you have the, Helen of Troy, Billy's Revenge, The Way I Feel. I know all these songs, man. This is a greatest hits to me, even though it's obviously not a greatest hits. But I love this. I still love this album to this day. Okay, last question. Show me an album that was released in 1974. Now, I was going to do Kiss's debut and Hotter Than Hell because they were both from 74. But since I showed Kiss earlier in the multiple albums category, I wanted a different one. And this is one that I picked up at a pawn shop. Not a pawn shop, a thrift store for $1. And it's a band that I always overlooked. I never gave them the time of day just because I had it in my head that this was an old... this was just an old crap band. And I don't know why I ever thought that, because the songs I know by them I actually liked. But for some reason, you know how you have those things in your head, those preconceived notions. I don't know what it is, because they would have been right up my alley from if I had just given them the time of day, but I never did until this past year. And go ahead, you can tell me how dumb I was, and I'll agree with you. But Blue Oyster Cult, the Secret Treaty, still has the $1 Goodwill sticker on it. I listened to this album, and this album is awesome. I love this album, and it inspired me to go and listen to some more Blue Oyster Cult. I don't know why, I just thought they were one of those, like, those 70s just dumb bands. I don't even know how to explain it, but I just had a prejudice against Blue Oyster Cult for some reason. And I shouldn't have, because this album is awesome. And yeah, that's the beauty of the getting back into records. You know, I've always been into music. Like I said, it was always CDs and then streaming and MP3s, that kind of stuff. But then I wanted to get back into where music became an event, or like something to do instead of just something to have in the background. I wanted to kind of reconnect to that part of my life where, you know, as a kid, let me find one that I can just open up real quick. But, well, let's go back to Prince here. But as a kid, you know, you would have your CD or whatever. Well, I would have the CD. And then you would have stuff to look at. You know, you would have a book. This damn thing opens up all, like, yeah. But you would have a book. You would have all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't just the music. It was a whole experience. And that's what I wanted to relive. And that's what I wanted to get back into. And I've enjoyed it. And so hopefully I'll keep going with the vinyl community thing. And just keep making videos. And you'll see CDs. You'll see CDs on this channel from time to time because I've got a lot of those. And like I said, I'm a music collector, not necessarily a vinyl or a CD collector or whatever. I just love music. And if I can only get it on CD, then that's what I'm going to do. Hope that makes sense. This has been a 35-minute video almost. Not bad for my first one back. Hope you enjoy it. If you stuck around till the end, you deserve a goddamn medal. So, hopefully you'll see me some more. Let me know what you think of some of these and some of my hot takes, if I even had any. I don't know. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe, like. all that stuff. Smash something, whatever it is. You guys take care. Stay fresh, cheese bags.